Shalom, shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah, Kwam Yasha Allah. And once again, finally, under sound of the voice of your brother Tazadaq, um, an aggrieved man. The only thing I know is that I'm just an aggrieved man, standing up for my rights and the rights of many others that want to be free. So I'm here to tell you about the Creditors Conference, which is actually going to be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And we have approximately 2.5 days before that conference actually takes place. And that conference is actually going to be at 120 South 17th Street, Norfolk, Salakia. That's going to be 120 South 17th Street, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm just screwing up the whole address, but never, because I'm getting these messages coming through. But nevertheless, the address is going to be for the Creditors Conference in Philly. It's going to be 120 South 17th Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19103. Now, if you haven't donated already, you're going to want to get your donations in online. Now, if you are really attending the seminar, you want to get your donations in now. The seats are filling up fast. I limit it to actually 50 occupants. And so if you want to donate, if you want the online rate, you're going to have to get that in at least 24 hours prior. That means your donations need to be in by Friday prior to 12:01 noon. Because that's the benefits of actually donating early. It's getting a discounted rate. So if you wait, as you've done at previous seminars, to donate when you get out the door or a few hours before or the same day of, you're not going to get that discounted rate. Do you understand? Just keeping it a buck for you. Just keeping it real. So I wanted to talk to you, about, what I want to do is give you a preparation for the seminar. Again, that seminar is going to be June 16th from 12 noon to 6 p.m. for those of you that may be just tuning in for the first time. And June 17th from 12 noon to 6 p.m. is going to be a 2-day seminar. 2-day seminar, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's going to be 120 South 17th Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19103. I keep just really screwing up that address, but that's the right address. So, with that being said, if I got some people that's tuning in for the very first time, I want you to meet your straw man. And to prepare you for this seminar, I'm going to tell you to meet your straw man. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, I want you to I'm going to venture to a place real quick, right? I want you to venture to the White House. Now, I want you to imagine the White House in Washington, D.C. Many of you are not far away. Those of you that's actually in Baltimore, you got people like Tall Mike that's, right there, in D.C. So when you see the White House, I'm going to ask you a question. To those of you in the room, you could actually attempt to answer this question, Shalom, Julia Ridley. Now, when you look at the White House, I got a question for you. I see you, Queen TSB. Got a question for you, Julia Ridley. Got a question for you, K.O. Snow. Question. Let's take a little quiz. Everyone likes a quiz, right? We're not going to call it a test. We're going to call it a quiz to see how awake you actually are. And this is all preparation for the seminar. So, question. Who meets at the White House? Next question, number 2, is what do they do there? Number 3 is, do they help you in any way? Now, what are your answers? Someone put a shalom, King. Mike C. Mike C, I want you to answer these questions also. You're a wise guy, right, Mike C? So, regarding the White House, Mike C, K.O. Snow, hey, shalom, Devon Brooks. I got a question. Thanks for joining. Got a question for you also, Devon Brooks. The White House, right? In Washington, D.C. Jeremiah Tuck, got a question for you also, King. Got a question for you also, Maine 207. All of you, I want you to hear me well. The White House in Washington, D.C., a Shalom. Who meets there? That's a question. I want you to put your answers in the room. See if you could get it right. We're going to take a little quiz today, and we're going to see who's really awake and see who's still sleepwalking and only think they're awake. So as far as the White House is concerned, who meets there? What do they do there? And do they help you in any way? Now, go ahead and, you can go ahead and post your answers in the room. Now, let me give you a few seconds to answer that question. As far as the White House is concerned, everybody in the room right now, can you answer? Don't be embarrassed. Let's just see how awake you are. Who meets there? What do they do there? And do they help you in any way in the White House? What about that, Devon Brooks? So if your answer was member of the governments meet there and that they represent all people living in the country, and if you answer yes, they create laws to protect me and my family. I see that K.O. Snow answered one of them correctly. I haven't seen the other ones. So if you answer those three questions, that members of the government meets there at the White House, they represent all the people living in the country, and yes, they create laws to protect me and my family, well, guess what? I would like to congratulate you on getting every single one of them wrong. That's correct. Every single one of them wrong. Didn't do too well on that quiz, did you? Now, how did you do on the quiz? Shalom, Ridley's house. So, you didn't do too well on that quiz, did you? So let's have another quiz since Ridley House just joined in. Now, this is as far as, those of you historians, you think you know history, many of you, brother Devon Brooks, Ridley's House, Queen TSB. I got some questions for you. K.O. Snow, the school teacher. Oh, yeah, she's well versed in history. Well, let's see. So, since you didn't do too well on that quiz, let's have another one. Student of life. Okay, well, let's see about this life, K.O. Snow. So, when was slavery abolished, student of life? Was slavery legal? And are you in debt to a physical institution? Well, I'm waiting for your answers. And list your answers in the room in the comment sections, and let's see how much you really know. You heard the questions, so now let's hear your answers. What are the answers? Okay, L Snow says she's still learning. What about Queen TSB? Oh, Ridley is saying I work for myself. Mike C is saying slavery was never abolished. Well, we sound like we got a live one here in Mike C. Seems like he may be on to something. Brother Devon says 1700 something. Well, let's get the answers to that. The servant officers of all commercial corporations. That's the answer to the first one. The next one is they think up a way to take money and goods from you. And number 3 is absolutely not. They help themselves and not you. That should have been the answers to the first 3 questions. Some of you missed the first 3 questions about the White House and what goes on there. So the first answer was they're servant officers of a commercial corporation, not government. They think up ways to take money and goods from you, not give you anything. Hey, welcome to the session. Armed Mar, Pittman, and Triplicity. So, and the answer to the last three questions that I asked was slavery has never been abolished. So Mike C answered it correctly. Slavery, I'm going to say that again because I don't think they got it, brother Mike C. Slavery has never been abolished. Never. Hey, greetings. Shalom. Slavery has never been abolished, and you and your souls are considered to be a slave right now. So how you like that one, Ridley's house? How you like that one, Queen TSB? You're still considered to be a slave right now. And yes, slavery is illegal. Although it is not lawful, you need to discover the difference between legal and lawful. See, most people cannot discern the difference between what's legal and what's lawful. They think that they are one and the same, but they are not. And the last answer to that question that I asked is no. You are not in debt to any financial institution whatsoever. You just think you are. So, these alleged creditors, I'm sitting in the car here, so I gotta turn the air on. It's getting a little bit warm. So the alleged creditors, they've convinced you to believe that you're actually in debt, but you're really not. You're not in debt to any man. You just believe that you are. Now, does this seem a little bit strange to you, Queen TSB? Hey, respect, Mike, Mike C. Respect. So, does it seem a little bit strange to any of you that those in power have big secrets? Now, what if I told you? Now, the brother Mike C, he seems to be awake and live. So I'm gonna ask the others of you. Now, what if I told you, or what if I said to you that paying taxes is optional? What if I told you that registering a vehicle is optional? What if I told you that paying a fine is optional? And what if I told you that attending a court is optional? You probably think I'm crazy. This is Tazadaq done lost his damn mind. So, if you want to, but you don't have to. You could do it if you want to, but you don't have to. It's just that you do not know. And our people suffer from so much ignorance. Surprise? Well, let's try this on for size. Now, every mortgage, hear me well. Every mortgage and loan is fully repaid from day one. You can pay it again if you want to, but you don't have to. But because you don't pay attention to contracts, they keep foreclosing on you because you do not understand the law. I mean the contract. I mean the law. But yet, you still will not attend my seminars. You'll go online, you'll listen to all of these different philosophies of these so-called sovereign gurus, and you get more and more confused because you're listening to too many people at once. And half of them don't know a damn thing. They're researching just like you. They're just some Johnny-come-lately so-called creditors, and they're confusing you. Now, if nobody has told you that you have a corporate construct, a Legalese, a syndicate trust, a straw man, then this could be a very interesting experience for you. Now, your Legalese, your corporate construct, your straw man was created when you was just in stages of your infancy, Ridley's house. He was very young, far too young to know anything about it. So I'm always overwhelmed at the question when someone asks me, how old are you? And so when I give them an answer, well, I don't know, because I was too young to remember when I was actually born. Now check this out. When you go into a court of law, right? If you get something from a third party, that's considered to be hearsay evidence, right? So how can any of you prove how old you were or how old you are right now? It's all hearsay evidence. Do you understand? That's all hearsay. You're going by what either your mom told you, or what dad told you, or what you was told by some person that issued a birth certificate. But it's all hearsay evidence and not really admissible in court. Because why would that be admissible? And if I said something from a third party, it's not really admissible unless that party is actually right there. So I don't have any said birth record. Now, but then it was meant to be a secret. This whole straw man thing, it was meant to be a secret on purpose to swindle you. And it has been used very effectively to do just that ever since your straw man was created. So, I get a lot of haters that talk badly about Tazadaq. Oh, I don't trust this dude or whatever. He seemed crap. Well, what is it about me that you don't trust? You know what you don't trust? You don't trust yourself because you fear. You fear the truth. You fear that the very thing that you fear is true, and the very thing that you do fear is true, is that 99% of what you actually been taught is a damn lie. You've been lied to. Now, perhaps that it's about time that you learn about your corporate construct. A Shalom, Pharaoh wife. It's about time that you learn about your corporate construct, your straw man, and how you can stop. It could actually stop being used against you. And knowing about it is the most important step. In fact, it's the first step. You need to get on a journey of discovery. And I'm afraid that what you're about to discover is not very pleasant. Many of you heard bits and pieces of it, but you really don't know. And this is why you really should attend my seminars. A Shalom, True Reef, Shalom, King. So you really need to attend my seminar, read my books, because I've been doing this for quite some time now, man. And I'm not some Johnny come lately dude trying to sell you some story. I'm trying to give redemption. I'm trying to teach you to redeem yourself. See, unlike most people, I don't teach you what to think. I teach you how to think so that you can think for yourselves and live free for yourself. Now, if you think that you're in debt, then you could get out of it if you're willing to stand up for your rights and refuse to be swindled by these rogue agents anymore. Did you hear what I'm saying? But you're going to have to gird up your loins like a man in a womb man. And I'm not saying woman. I'm saying womb man with a womb where the birth is given. Do you understand? So are you interested in this journey? Why are you not attending this seminar? If you're interested in this journey, then be at the Creditors seminar June 16th and June 17th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 120 South 17th Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19103. So let's begin by stating and finding out where your straw man came from. I'm taking you back to the basics. Just because someone may be watching this, never heard any of this before. And why should you care about the straw man? Why does it even matter, Tazadaq? Why should I even care about it? Well, if you started when your parents had a happy event and you entered the world, you don't know exactly when it was because you was not aware of the days of the week, the month, or the year, or even what year it was. So even after some months had actually gone by, you were still unaware of things. But by that time, your corporate construct, your straw man, had already been created, and it was actually being used to make some very unscrupulous people rich. Do you understand? Because you never take control of it. And when you never take control of it, guess what? The state, the de facto states, appoint an attorney to control it for you. Do you understand? So none of this was your fault. It was not your fault. It's really not your fault that you was ignorant about this because you've never been taught this. It is actually, it happened because of your mom informed on you. And your mom was actually fooled into thinking that they needed to register your birth and get a birth certificate for you. This all started. Listen, man. Unlike most people, I'm going to tell you, don't believe nothing I say. I want you to go and check it out for yourself. I want you to go and look up a man after this live stream. I want you to go and look up a man by the name Woodrow Wilson's handler, by the way, because they've been doing this stuff for a long time. Woodrow Wilson's handler. What's the guy's name, man? I can't even think of his name right now. He was Woodrow Wilson's handler. He came out with the whole registering your biological property. He deemed that term registering your biological property, meaning your children. So it was this guy that actually damn, what was his name, man? What is this other guy's name keep popping in my head? Damn, what was this dude's name, man? Anyways, I'm brain dead right here for a second. Maybe it'll come to me in a minute. But it wasn't your fault. So they applied. So your mom was convinced that she had to sign the birth certificate. And on the, not the birth certificate, the live record of birth. So on that live record of birth, your mother is listed as an informant. An informant. Why? Because she's informing the state that she has new property of the state, for the state. So when they applied for a birth certificate, not understanding what had just happened when they did that. They just done it out of ignorance. So, well, when they did this, what happened? Well, according to the local authority, lost ownership over the baby, which was you. They allowed a straw man or a corporate fiction, a corporate construct to be created, which explains why people that work for social service, CPS, child protective services could come in and seize your children at will. Why? Because you signed over ownership to your baby just shortly after it was born to the state. So you made the state the father of your son or daughter. And they started calling it a child. Well, a child is a corporate fiction. It is a corporate construct. Do you understand? And this is something which they can actually blame someone else for. See, nobody told your mom or your dad that this would actually happen or could happen. Nor did anybody tell your parents what a straw man is or how it is actually used against their baby. Do you understand? A Shalom peace, tribe BAB. So no one told them that. Nor did anyone tell your parents what a straw man was and how it could be used against their baby. So in actual facts, God, the registration is a contract which is in reality null and void because there was no full disclosure. But it's only null and void if you know this. Do you understand? Do you understand? So why? Your parents didn't know this. So local authority, there was no full disclosure by the local authorities, nor was there intent to contract on the part of the parents. Do you understand? So since there was no intent to contract, if you know contract law, and you should know contract law because I've been consistently telling you to get my books and get Brian Baum's book. So if you know contract law, you know that if there was no intent by your mother and your father, then hey, what they done is not really a valid contract, and it only still stands because no one went in and tried to amend that contract because it's not valid. So the registering of a baby's birth passes ownership of the baby to the local authority, which is the de facto state, and that alone allows the local authority, which is the de facto state, and CPS is part of the de facto state, to take the child away from the parents if they ever want to do that. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. The damn CPS will run up in your home. Why? Because mom signed her baby away shortly after it was born without being aware of it. And she just didn't know. Do you understand? So doing that is not lawful, but after the birth has been registered, brothers and sisters, it is legal. It's not lawful, it is legal, and there is a world of difference between the two terms. A difference which is not very important, that you come clearly to understand. So, what exactly is a syndicate trust, Tazadaq? What exactly is an allegiance? What exactly is a straw man? Well, a straw man is a fiction legal entity created with the hope that the child grows up and he will actually be fooled into believing that he is actually the straw man. They get you to grow up and to believe that you are actually that entity that's listed on your driver's license, that's listed on the birth certificate, that's listed on all government documents in all capital letters. Do you understand? They get you to believe this, but that's really not you. It's most definitely not you. Do you understand? And then they have you pay all sorts of imaginary costs and liabilities which get attached to the straw man by these rogue con artists that you call governments and corporations. And this is why they don't like Tazadaq, man. This is why they want to flag my channels. Why? Because I give you right knowledge and I give you truth. And they hate this. They hate it. Now, how is the straw man, how is this corporate fiction created? Well, the mechanics involves the unnecessary birth certificate, which the parents imagine is about and belongs to the baby, and neither of which is actually true. And I'm gonna hit you with something. If you talk to your grandparents, if they're still alive, well, not all of you, because some of you're fast, and some of your children are making you grandparents. This generation is some of the youngest damn grandparents I've seen. You got grandparents is in their 30s. I've never seen stuff like that before. But so you might have to talk to your great-great-grandparents because you're having babies so young. You know what I mean? No disrespect to someone, just giving it up, keeping it a buck. But anyways, if you talk to your great-grandparents, the birth records was actually kept in the family Bible. And did you know that that's still a legal document? That you could keep birth records in the family Bible. It's still legal. Understand that. So if the baby had been named James and the family's name is Martin, then you would actually expect the birth certificate to have the name James Martin printed on it. Is that correct? So if that is what is printed on it, then all is well. And it is actually a genuine birth certificate and nothing more. Do you understand? Do you follow me? Does everybody understand? Everybody get what I'm saying right here? So, however, if any other name is there, then the document is not a birth certificate, but instead is a creation of a straw man masquerading as James Martin. See, the alternative entries might be any of the following examples that I'm about to give. James Martin in all capital letters. That's not your name. Do you understand? If they wrote Kimberly in all capital letters, that's not your name. It might resemble your name. So let me take you back to grammar school, Ridley's house. One of the first things that they taught you in grammar school was what? A Shalom, Judah, 1933. So one of the first things that they taught you in grammar school was what? If you're referring to a noun, a man or a woman, and if you write it in all capital letters, they taught you it was an improper noun. Is that correct? So why is it that you have corporations and government printing these names in all capital letters? Because they know it's not you. You've been deceived. You've been blatantly deceived. But you think it's okay because of de facto. I mean, government is doing it. So, or you may have Mr. James Martin. Mr. James Martin is not your name. And this is how some of you get thrown off. Let me show you how I'm going to tell you how some people don't know the law, right? So you just think you know because you're listening to these whack-ass people online that, they research and stuff just like you. They're just learning just like you. So they go and get a YouTube channel and they try and start teaching people, but they really don't know. And they just know enough to get you in trouble. You understand what I'm saying, King? So now watch this. Some people say, "Oh, Tazadaq, mine wasn't written in all capital letters." And I say, "How was it written, brother? Don't get so caught up on the name." He said it was written Mr. James Martin in upper and lower case. Now watch this. See, this is why the deception come in. If they put Mr. in front of your name, that is not your name. Did your mother name you Mr.? No. Did your father name you Mr.? No. They name you James Martin. Or they name you Kimberly Jones. Or they name you Rachel Fields. Or they name you Teray Ridley, and so on and so forth. You understand what I'm saying? When they put Miss and Mrs. or Mr. in front of it, it's not your name. That they just created a fiction with that sir name that they may have given you, not that surname, but that prefix, Mr. or Miss. It's not your name. So they created a fiction simply by putting Mr. in front of it. So when I tell them, look, man, don't call me Mr., people get offended. I say, well, my name's not Mr. And don't call me Sir. Sir is the surname that was given to so-called black people by former slave masters. So don't call me Sir, okay? Just call me, I'm just an agreed man. Why am I an agreed man? Because I believe an injury has been done to me and to you as well. Do you understand? So anything like Mr. James Martin or just Martin or Mr. James or anything else which is not exactly the name that your mom and your father gave you, they're creating a fiction. Do you understand? So why create a straw man? Why would the government do this? You could trust the government, can't you? America, this beautiful country, you gotta trust your government, right? Come on, man. You know that the Rothschilds and all of this being wicked. Don't you know that that's just a conspiracy theory? That can't be true, could it? That's not true. You got this beautiful government. You gotta trust it, right? This is the apple pie, where everybody come to get a piece of the pie, right? So you gotta trust this government. Am I correct? You must be stupid. This is de facto, man. It's not even an official government anymore. So why create a straw man? So the answer is, in order to charge the straw man imaginary costs and penalties and fool the real man, James Martin or Tazadaqshah, into paying those amounts, you had to create a corporation, a corporate fiction. Why? Because a corporation could only interact or interface with another corporation. Do you understand? They cannot interact or interface with the living soul. Do you understand? So the imaginary charges include income tax, council tax, inheritance tax, capital gains, road tax, import tax, value-added tax, fuel levy, loan interest, bank charges, and anything else that full-time professionals and corporation giants could think of or confident that you will not notice that they never agreed to pay and don't need to pay. You really don't know? Yeah, Act 1871 Act. Now, why don't you get any of this? Why are people not getting any of this, Tazadaq? Why do you know so much of this and most people don't? They're not getting this because people are not studying legalese. Most people won't study. You're not getting it because of legalese. Hold on a second. I'm holding my phone in my hand. This is why everything's so shaky here. But you're not getting it because of legalese. Legalese is a secret language invented to trick you by lawyers. And remember, judges was once lawyers. It uses English words, but it attaches secret meanings to these words with the sole intention of stopping you from believing that they were actually you, that they're not really saying. See, they want you to believe that they're saying and they're speaking in common parlance, in colloquial speech, but they're really not. They're really not. They're not really speaking normal words in the English language. So their purpose is to cheat you and to rob you, which is why they created legalese. For example, they will ask you, do you understand? I know everyone's heard this one, but maybe Ridley's house hasn't heard it. Maybe a few people hasn't heard it. So let me go into this, and I'm not going to be much longer. If you want to learn more of this stuff, be at the seminar Saturday and Sunday, June 16th, June 17th from 12 noon to 6 p.m. So in English or in colloquial speech, do you understand does not mean do you comprehend what I'm saying. It doesn't mean that. And the automatic response would be yes. So most people go to court and say yes, meaning I do comprehend what you're saying to me. But they're sneaky. They're using legalese on you. These sneaky, underhanded people has changed the meaning in legalese to mean that do you stand under me? Meaning, do you grant me authority over you so that you have to obey whatever I tell you to do? Now, do you understand, folks? Do you comprehend what I'm saying? So basically what they're saying, if a judge could ask you, do you understand? And you said yes, you just gave him jurisdiction over you. So why in the heck are you going to continue to argue jurisdiction? You feel what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying, brother Yaya Bay? 13 love, King. So what makes it even worse is that the fact that they will never tell you that they've switched from English to legalese. And when you try and tell your families and friends this, they look at you like you're a damn fool. They say, oh, Tazadaq, I don't trust him. I don't trust him. It's that stuff that he's talking. He doesn't sound right. You know why? Because you a bitch. And you're punk. You're weak. You're scared. You don't have no damn heart. Because you fear the de facto. That's why you don't trust me. Because I make you see reality. Do you understand? So they are not telling you that they're speaking in legalese. They're not telling you that they're being dishonest. Do you understand? They're not telling you any of this. They're not telling you that they're being unscrupulous. And then I don't know what to tell you, because most of you won't gird up your loins like a man or woman. So if you answer the question believing that English is actually being spoken, then they pretend that you're actually contracting with them to become a subordinate to them. Do you understand? So whether or not that it's actually true is debatable, because that is effectively a verbal contract between you and them. And for any contract to be valid, there has to be a full and open disclosure of all terms of the contract. Now, I just gave you a lot of information to get you off almost anything that you could possibly get into. Because in order for, I'm going to say that again. In order for any contract to be valid, there has to be a full verbal disclosure. They have to disclose that verbally. It has to be full verbal disclosure. Do you understand? It can't just be, oh, they expose some of it. You understand what I'm saying to you? It should be full verbal disclosure. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I hope that you do. So, if not, it's not a valid contract. But it becomes valid because you really don't know. You really don't know. So, but what is the point of all of this? Well, this maneuver is intended to trick you into agreeing to represent your straw man, to create joinder with your straw man. Why? Aha, now, that's a good question. That's an excellent question, brother Yaya Bey. But to answer it, it takes a bit of explaining, and you need to understand the overall situation. So, I don't use that term men. Let me say something else to you. The term men does not mean the same as man. Men is not man. So, don't believe me, go and check it out for yourself. So, all men and all women, we have freedom of liberty. And all men are born equal, with complete freedom of choice and action. Understand that. This is granted to us by our Creator. So if you live in some place as a lot of people, then there are a few restrictions which have grown up by common consent over time. See, these restrictions are for your protection. Do you understand? But many of these restrictions are growing out of the control of the people, and the people are not doing a darn thing to stop it. So the protection of, the other people living near you, you have to be restricted, because you could do just about anything that you want to, as long as you don't infringe on the rights of another. So these restrictions are called the law, the law, the law, or more accurately, the common law, which comes from the Creator, the Most High. And they are few in number and are very easy to understand. Now watch this. They are. This is the law. This is the only way, according to to the law, the real law, the common law, that you could break the law. Everything else is a statutory code that this man created because he's wicked and he wants to extract fiat currency from you. So in order to break the law, keep this in mind, folks, you must injure or kill another party, someone else. The second thing is you must steal or damage things owned by someone else. And the third thing is you must be honest in dealing and not swindle or lie to anyone. Those are the three ways to break the law under the common law. Do you understand? So these restrictions has actually resulted from hundreds of years of dispute, which actually has been dealt with through using common sense. The common law comes from common sense. Do you understand? So people be like, Tazadaq, where's the common law? It's common damn sense. It's common sense. It's common sense. You know, if you damage someone's property, you're supposed to repair it. It's common damn sense. It's common sense. You know you're not supposed to go on and have sex with someone else if you're married, sis. You know you're not supposed to be going out sleeping with another man's wife, bro. It's common damn sense. It's an unwritten law. It's common sense. It's something placed in us by nature that we know, hey, well, I'm not supposed to do that. Why you think some things little children do, they go in the dark and they do it? It's because they know it's wrong. Otherwise, they would just do it right out in the light. Hey, shalom, salute, Joseph Valentine. So they are the only limitation, folks. They are the only limitations on you. And if you don't want to abide by them, then you need to go to some isolated place and stay away from other people because you're fucked up. Excuse my French. Sometimes I speak French. So many people think that there are hundreds of other laws that they have to keep, and new ones each and every day. But that is not so. That is not so. See, those other things are called statutes, codes, acts, rules, regulations, and they keep them coming at you. But as far as you keeping them, it's optional. It's optional if you know the law and if you know how to enforce the law. But they're not optional for a fictitious straw man. Remember, corporations and their laws could only apply to other corporations and people that consent or contract with them. Do you understand? So they're not optional if you don't know who the hell you are, dark matter. Do you understand? So you got to know who you are. So one of the first things that I ask you is, who are you? Where do you live? What's your country? You understand what I'm saying? If you don't know that, guess what? You're the straw man. You're the syndicate trust. You're the allegiance. So they're not optional for the fictitious straw man. And that's why so many people who benefit from those things want to persuade you to represent your straw man, and so you become the subject to all of their invented restrictions and their charges. Do you understand? Because if you don't create joint, many of you on hip hop, you've been to court, right? Many of you been to court, right? Dark matter. So when you go to court, what happens if you don't admit to being the name? The damn judge becomes irate. Why do you think he's becoming irate? Because you're saying, listen, man, this is not my name. I'm not this all capital letters name. I'm not a fiction. And they get mad. Sometimes he'll get so damn mad that he'll, this court is adjourned. Or, well, we're going to take a recess. Because they trying to figure out a way to get you. Understand that. Why? Because if they can't get you to stand in place of the straw man, they have nothing. They have nothing. They don't have anyone to place the charges on. So if you knew that they were optional, you would agree to that. Give most of your earnings. Well, let me ask you this. Queen TSB, Dork Matter, Ridley's House, Yaya Bay, God Bay. I like that name, God Bay. yeah. I like that. Yo, but let me ask you this, man. So if you knew that, and many of you do, because I've said it, and you're just afraid to do it. And shalom, Monique. I hope to see you at the seminar. So, yeah, Monique from Philly, not the Monique from Michigan, by the way. But anyways, if you knew that these things was optional, right? Would you agree to give most of your earning away in taxes or similar charges? It's just a question. Would you agree to pay to own a vehicle? It's just a question, Yaya Bay. If you knew that these things were optional, would you agree to pay to own a television set? It's a question. Would you agree to pay to drive on roads which were built with your fiat? Or would you agree to be forced to join the armed services if you are told this is optional? Would you agree to send an army, to be sent away in an army which is actually supposed to represent you into another country to murder innocent people? Would you agree to these things? Because this is what's going on. And this is why they don't like me, because I'm telling you the truth, man. Would you agree to this? Well, brother Yaya Bay, brother Dork Matter, were you ever told that these things were optional? And if so, why are you doing them? So if you agree to represent your straw man, then these things become binding and mandatory on you. Do you understand? These are some of the statutes, the codes, the rules, the regulations, the acts that they keep inventing by these politicians in order to make you poor and to make them and their friends richer and richer and richer, and keep you in a position where you have to do everything that they say, no matter how much they harm you, and does away with your natural freedom and right. And so people should be rushing to get to the seminar, because the information that I give you is invaluable, man. It's invaluable. People all over should be trying to learn this stuff and teach it to as many people as possible so people can wake up. But you got a lot of people out there that's envious, and you're afraid. And fear prevents you from becoming that which you should. But I'm gonna hit you with something, family. On the other side of that fear is your freedom. Let me tell you something, man. Don't you know that these people, they're so crafty, and they learn, they have people that study genetics and how people think and how people react. I mean, these people have mastered things. So what they do is they study you, like case in point, they're studying an elephant, right? So they train you from birth to be a slave. And most of you suffer from cognitive dissonance. And so you can't break the chains. And so how they do this is the same way that they train an elephant or a horse. So you ever wonder why you could be at a fairground, right? Or a circus, and you see this little spike in the ground, and and you got like a 2,000 or 3,000 pound elephant that won't pull that little spike out of the ground. Why? It's because they trained that elephant the same way that they train most of you. See, what was happening is when that elephant was a baby, as they put a big spike in the ground, and so each time that elephant would try and pull away from that spike, He was not able to get away because the elephant was a little baby elephant and the spike was huge. So the elephant became conditioned because each time that he would try to pull away, he couldn't pull away. So then the elephant just started to fixate in his mind that, damn, no matter how much I pull, I'm not going to be able to get away. So one day the elephant just gave up. And so once the elephant became conditioned to believing that he could never break away, that he could never pull away from that, is so they replaced that big spike with a little spike. So the elephant never tries to pull away. Why? Because his mind is conditioned. Well, they've conditioned your mind the same way to be fearful, to be afraid. So you're conditioned to believe that no matter what happens, you can never get out of this situation. You're conditioned to believe that for them, I got to work for the system to live the life that I want. I'm going to hit you with something, man. As long as you're working for someone else, you're never going to have the kind of life that you truly want. They got control over you. As long as you're working for someone else, you're making someone else rich. Understand that. And I know many of you may not like that, but it's true. But you are conditioned. This is psychological engineering. You suffer from cognitive dissonance. That's real, man. I'm just giving it to you real, man. I'm telling you how they control you. And the sad thing is that most of you do not know that you're slaves, so you're the best. You're a perfect slave. Because the best kind of slave to have is those that don't even know that they're hopelessly and helplessly enslaved. Do you understand? So, brothers and sisters, you got to get out of this condition. You got to get out of this condition. And so, I hope to see you at the seminar June 16th and June 17th. It's going to be a lot of information there. You understand? A lot of information. June 16th, June 17th, which is this Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be a 2-day seminar. Unlike before, I've decided to do them 2 days to make sure you get all of this information. Because what's going to happen is you're going to go in for 6 hours. We're going to have some fun. You're going to go to sleep. You're going to come back, mind refreshed. Then we're going to hit you in the head with some more information. So when you leave there, you're going to be a walking encyclopedia. You're going to be like a walking dictionary, yah, bay. And so, we're conditioned. Our minds are conditioned. So you got to break that cognitive dissonance. But some say we elect a government to represent us, so we have to do what it says. A lot of people believe that, Tazadaq, what you're doing is treason. No, it's not. Go and read the friggin' Declaration of Independence. After war, they have our best interests in mind, Tazadaq. Why are you teaching people this stuff? This is treason. Well, that's a nice start, good brother, good sister. That's a nice thought, but is it actually true? No, it isn't. See, you think that you elect politicians to represent you in your government, but that's not what you actually do. Do Kwam Yasha'Allah, Mike, see, Kwam Yasha'Allah. Karatazah, Kwam Yasha'Allah. So, that is the part of a very carefully fostered illusion to believe that this government is for you. This is the de facto. That is a fostered illusion intended to keep you in your place and giving most of your earnings away. Typically, about 80% of all that you earn is given away. How many of you know that? Do you realize that? You're damn near working for nothing. Now, part of the secret is that what is supposed to be your government is actually a privately owned for-profit company, and all that you do when you're voting is to help choose the serving officers inside of that company. People for company is not elected. They're selected, and there's a difference. Obama wasn't elected. He was selected. Do you understand? And the sooner and quicker you believe this, the quicker you will wake up. See, it will never make the slightest difference to what happens in the future, as the company's policy and actions are controlled by the owners of the company, and they are actually influenced in no way whatsoever by what you want. Do you understand? They don't give a damn about your vote. Negro, please. Negro, please. Donald Trump wasn't voted into office. He was selected. Hillary Clinton won. But Hillary Clinton's not in office. The electoral votes put Donald Trump in the office because they selected Donald Trump. It was his time. This is a private company. Your government is a private company. It is de facto. Existing in fact, but not officially established. To tell you what, Legalese House, when you get off of the phone, Legalese House, I got an assignment for you. And any of you, dark matter, Google USC, 28 USC 3002, subsection 15A. It was state right there, right before your face, but people don't read that the federal government is a federal corporation. A corporation like Walmart, like Mary Kay, like Avon. It's nothing but a corporation. Now, it might sound crazy, but the only thing that happens is that a bunch of crafty people got together and they decided to name their company the United States. The United States is a federal corporation. It's written there, right there in their statutes. But most people don't read it. So, if you think this is far-fetched, then check it out. Via Dunn and Bradstreet or any other place which records the settings up and the performances of 160 million thousand commercial companies worldwide. So when you do that, brothers and sisters, you will discover, for example, that the United States is a commercial for-profit company. The United States Corporation is a private company, and I dare anyone to disprove it. Do you understand? So the non-federal Reserve Bank, and it's not federal. That's another thing they get you on. Oh, the Federal Reserve Bank. Well, it's not federal. It's an offshore company. The non-federal Reserve Bank is a private company. It's not a part of the federal government. How many of you knew that? It's a private company set up in the year 1913 as every court and police force and even Congress is a company and not a person. Do you understand? So just in case you're not aware of it, the purpose of any commercial for-profit company or corporation is to make money for its owners. Do you understand? That's why the damn cops are out there, not to serve and protect you, to make money for its company. They're nothing but damn minions, man. Real talk, man. And this is why they don't want my voice over the internet. This is why they're trying to flag my channels, because I give you the truth, man. I speak the truth, man. When I speak from passion, man. I speak from experience. Hey, Shalom, Philip. I'm not just speaking to be speaking. You understand what I'm saying? I speak with passion, man. So, when I tell people, well, I'm going to do this, and then they, like I told my cousin Marcus and Malik, and I was like, nah, man, I'm gonna stick with this Secured Party Creditor stuff, and I'm gonna start teaching people. And they's like, nah, man, you ain't gonna do this. So we started getting harassed by detectives and undercovers, man. They meeting me coming from my MMA class. Oh yeah, you going down south this weekend? I'm like, damn, who's this that know I'm going down south? So I'm like, nah, not this weekend. Maybe next weekend. They was like, oh yeah, well, we're watching you. So I told them, well, I'm glad you're watching me. I'm about to go over to East River Projects. Someone's getting over there killed every other day. So I feel a little bit safer now that I know you're watching me, because you might get them before they get me. You understand? No fear in my heart, man. My heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. They try and put fear in my heart, man. But I don't move like that because I'm protected by the Most High. Understand that. So just in case you're not aware of its purpose, the purpose, family, of all commercial for-profit companies, corporations, is to make money for its owners, which are the shareholders of those particular companies. You understand? So those people who you think of as government don't do anything that earns money. They instead take money from you. Understand that. You see these rich bastards in the government? They take money from you, from us. About it. What are they doing? They're sitting in the damn office and pushing papers. They're not doing anything productive. What are they doing to earn money? They're not doing anything. They're taking money, fiat, from you. Do you understand? Which is why they don't want cats like Tazadaqshah out here doing seminars and waking people up. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they have a bullet for me. They've been trying to find, I'm gonna tell you something, man. They've been trying to find ways to get me. They're looking for something. And I know when they send someone, I know it's gonna be a nigga. It's gonna be one of you niggas. That's how they always infiltrate our movement, man. How did they get the brother Malcolm X? They sent some of his damn coons, man. Some of his own damn coons gunned him down, man. Telling the brother, get your hand out of my pocket. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not looking for Esau, man. I'm looking for one of these damn Sambo coons to try, oh, yeah, Tazadaq, I need a packet. I need some information from you and try and set me up. I just helped the brother, man, about 6 months ago in Alabama that they was trying to hit with 25, with an L, 25 to life. You know, supposedly the brother was dog fighting, and his best friend they sent after him. They sent him over with a wire because they had his ass. They caught him doing something dirty, and so they was like, oh, well, you give us so-and-so, then, we'll let you walk with probation. Don't you know that this no good bastard went over there wired up with his man and got him to say something about dog fighting? Now they trying to hit that brother, well, I'm 25 to life, but I have to get it released. I have them get it released to like a 1.5 years on a house arrest by him becoming a secured party creditor. But that's how they move, man. That's how people are, because a lot of people are wicked, man. So that's why I walk circle. Understand that. But when they come, that's how they do, man. They find someone that look just like you, or they're trying to set a woman, man. I'm not your typical average Hebrew Israelite. I'm not going to fall for the damn okie doke. They're not going to send no attractive woman after me or something like that and expect me to fall for it. Because man, everything I do, I try and stay in the spirit. You understand what I'm saying? With a warrior's mentality. So you're not going to send a woman over with the big ass for me and a cute face, but at the same time, she's working for the feds. You understand what I'm saying? Because check out this. What's this cat name that was going online saying he was related to Marcus Garvey and all of that? What's the brother's name? Umar Johnson. You see how they got to him? They send a damn woman for him, man. This brother was about to be funded, for open up his own school and all of that. How did they get him? They sent a woman for him. They sent a woman, a prostitute. You don't need to pay their rip-off game any longer, unless you just want to. Unless you just don't want to educate yourself. Understand that. So you could play in the game if that is your will, but you really don't have to keep playing anymore. See, they're desperate to stop you from just walking away from their scam, which is why when people try to become secured party creditors, they say, oh, what is this? This is some frivolous filing paperwork. And you're so naive, you fall for it. But don't fall for the okie doke, brother. Don't fall for the okie doke, sister. They don't want you to walk away from playing their game, for falling for their scams. Do you understand? So they make every effort to connect you with that corporate construct, with that straw man, because then you got to play their game if you believe you're it. Because the fictitious entities, like commercial companies, can't have any dealings with the real man or the real woman. They could only deal with another fiction like your straw man. Do you understand? And it is essential that they fool you into believing that you have to act on behalf of the straw man, which you do not. Do you understand? Do you understand? So gird up your loins, Book of Job 40 verse 7. Gird up your loins like a man. I will require it of thee. Do you understand, man? So they have a number of well-proven methods of distracting you and keeping you from finding this out. They flagged Tazadaq. Well, this dude right here, he's a wank. So let's go back. Oh yeah, he done a video on Harvey Dent a year ago. Let's go and flag that video so he can't do any more live streams from the Deprogram Enlightenment channel because we got 200 and 300 people watching this dude at once. And so if he talks to 200 or 300 people and each one of those people go and talk to 10 people, he's waking up hundreds and then thousands of people. You see how they think? They don't think like the average typical Joe. They're thinking like, yo, this dude is becoming a threat. We got to deal with him. We got to get rid of the Tazadaqs and everyone else that he's actually pouring his spirit into and waking people up, because these people are going to go and wake people up. Do you understand? That's how they think. You understand what I'm saying to you? They don't want you to be free because they're taking your fiat. They're taking your fiat. They don't want you to see that great deal of entertainment, not because there's anything wrong with entertainment, but while you are actually being entertained, you will not be asking awkward questions. You'll start asking the correct questions. And remember, I said, he who is asking is as the king. He that is asking is as the king. The king is what? The king controls the whole kingdom. Is that right? The king controls the entire kingdom. The king is sovereign. Sovereign is the authority. So also, they are very careful that most entertainment reinforces their make-believe world and make it appear to be real. See, the real world, where everyone is actually under the spell of the government. The police officers uphold the laws, the taxes, is the essential order to keep things going. They want to tax everything. This is why they want you to have a driver's license. It's an excise tax. This keeps things going, in which they are at an advantageous over you. So you will notice that they keep saying that their invented statutes or law, that their invented acts or law, that their invented codes or law, which they most certainly are not. They're not law. They're not law. It is just public policy. Understand that. So people need to start questioning everything. Question authority. Question authority. Question everything that these people tell you. Question everything. Question authority. Don't just fall for the okie doke anymore. So with that, brothers and sisters, I thank everybody for tuning in. Pray that you got something out from this. Watch this video, share this video, like this video, especially for people that's actually never heard this. This is the video that you want to play to your family members that thinks you're crazy, and then challenge them to go and look up the things that was actually stated herein. They don't understand what the straw man is. They will understand after this video. So with that being said, I hope to see you at the Creditors seminar in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on June 16th, June 17th, which is this Saturday and Sunday from 12 noon to 6 p.m. So again, like this video, share this video. I'm going to say Kwam Yasha Allah, Karatazah, to all the believing Hebrew Israelites out there. Islam, to my Moorish brothers and sisters, Hotep, to the Egyptologists, peace, 165135, and the supreme mathematics to the gods and earths, man. So right now, I'm at peace and try and be at peace with everyone, because the only way to overthrow this beast is with true love and unity. So stop fighting each other and coalesce together. So with that, I'm going to say Shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah, Kwam Yasha Allah. It's going to be it. Thank everybody for tuning in. Tazadaq is out. If I can find a way to stop this thing. Hey, shalom, everyone. Hey, peace. Two fingers. Tazadaq is out. See you at the seminar. Peace and love.